Welcome to the Fantasy War Room podcast. This is Justin Lum here, Gridiron Guru in the Gridiron Genetics Lab, and we've got Miguel Chapatin, aka Dynasty Guru FF on Twitter, the metrics man himself, my man. We're going to get into this take right now. Jordan Matthews in New England. It seems like nobody cares about Jordan Matthews, who just a couple years ago was the wide receiver one in Philadelphia. Nearing that 1,000-yard mark, but he didn't really have a quarterback. Then they got Carson Wentz, changed the regime around. But let's talk about why we like him now in New England with Tom Brady.
Well, what's going on, Justin? It's been a long time since we've been on a podcast together. Finally, nice that our schedules synced up a bit. But yeah, let's talk about Jordan Matthews. I mean, he's the forgotten man from the 2014 class at this point. He's still only, let's talk about age, he's only 25 years old, right? He's got 4 years of experience in the NFL, and he's still only 25 years old. I think he'll be just turning 26, or will turn 26 early in the season. But he's still 25 as of today. When you compare that to the Calvin Ridley, who's entering at 24, and Cooper Kupp, who is now 25 years old, neither of them have 4 years of experience in the NFL. In addition, Jordan Matthews has nearly two top 24 PPR seasons at the wide receiver position. He came in 25th, I think just like 2 or 3 points behind the 24th guy in 2014. So better points per game average, he's basically there. And then in 2015, he upped it to number 17 overall at wide receiver. And then after that is when the train started to derail, right? I think in 2016 is when everyone thought he was going to take off. He was going to be the next, or was it 2017? He was going to be the next big thing. And then he hurts his knee, and then he gets misdiagnosed, treated by and mistreated by the Eagles. And then in 2017, he gets traded to Buffalo, hurts his chest day one. His knee and ankle still weren't right, and he ends up on IR and gets surgery in December. And then here we are, now in 2018, and everyone's forgotten about Jordan Matthews. It's like they forgot about Dre.
And Julian Edelman suspended.
Julian Edelman is suspended, and that's a huge opportunity for Jordan Matthews. I already thought Jordan Matthews was, even though he doesn't have a lot of guaranteed money, and that is the biggest risk with him right now, because obviously since New England doesn't owe him anything, they can cut him at any point in time. But with Edelman out now, I think he's got basically a lock on making the 53-man roster and starting week one. And let's not forget, from 2014 to 2016, Jordan Matthews led all slot wide receivers in yards, beating the likes of Randall Cobb, Jarvis Landry, Doug Baldwin, Larry Fitz, with almost 2,400 yards from the slot position. So he's very good from the slot, and guess what? Tom Brady loves his slot wide receivers, and with Julian Edelman out, this is a golden opportunity for Jordan Matthews. I mean, just absolutely golden.
This is awesome. I like it because Brandon Cooks is gone, and Jordan Matthews, like you said, he's been very productive in the slot, but just the physical specimen he is, he's not just, in a box of a possession wide receiver, and he also creates a lot of yards after catch. He's, 6'2", 215. What do the metrics say about him? And do we have any PSI numbers on him? Because you are the creator of the PSI.
When it comes to PSI, he was in Tier 1. The 2014 class was loaded. I think we had 5 wide receivers that ranked in the number 1 tier. So he scored perfectly coming out of that, and he delivered. Like I said, he had 2 nearly top 24 PPR seasons, right off the bat. So his trajectory was great. He hit right away. So from that perspective, he's already been a success. And he's athletically gifted. He's got he's related to Jerry Rice. He's like a nephew, I think.
He is? I never knew that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's related to Jerry Rice.
Oh man, so he's definitely been studying the Rice DNA, studying the Rice film for all his life. Every receiver I bet does. It's Jerry Rice, he's the GOAT. But that's good. No, that's a fun fact.
The guy is uber talented. He dominated college at Vanderbilt. I think he had nearly 50% college dominator rating coming out.
48%.
I think he broke out at age 18, basically even. So from the moment he stepped on the field, as a freshman at Vanderbilt, he dominated. So,
Yep.
you know, when you look at his profile from those two metrics alone, not much different from a DJ Moore that you're comparing today, right? So, he's someone you would definitely get excited about if he was in today's draft class. Honestly, if he was in today's draft class, he would probably be the second or number one wide receiver taken in this rookie class coming out. So Jordan Matthews is awesome. But going back, you know, we have Julian Edelman, he's now 32. I mean, he's one of the oldest wide receivers in the league at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, once you start getting in the 30s, you know, wide receivers really start to drop off, and we see it happen quickly. And not only does it happen, but you know, when you're coming off a serious injury like he is with a torn ACL, I mean, that could basically be the nail in the coffin for him. And then to tack on that he's being suspended for a banned / mysterious substance that the NFL doesn't even know what it is, doesn't bode well. You know, why is he taking a mysterious substance is the question, right? Is he not trusting his knee that he felt he needed to take something in order to kind of regain his old form? So those are the questions you have to start asking yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So none of that adds up to an equation of a Pro Bowl season, right? No one starts out 32 coming off of a torn ACL and then getting banned for 4 games. Mm-hmm. So it kind of opens up. So that's all just for more of a game flow thing than it is Tom Brady. But if you look back from 2008, I mean, you had Wes Welker with 149 targets. 2009, Wes Welker again, 162 targets. 2010, Wes Welker had 123. 2011, Wes Welker had 173. 2012, 174 for Wes Welker. Then you go to Julian Edelman era, had 151 targets. In 13 and 14, he had 134.
It's a lot,
Rob
man.
Gronkowski had 120 out of the slot. And then Edelman, looks like maybe he got hurt that year, only had 88. And then 2016, 159. And then Brandon Cooks out of the slot at 114. So that's a lot of targets coming out of the slot.
You're getting 100+ targets. You're averaging like maybe 115 targets if you're playing in the slot in New England. Is basically what the trend that we see here.
Yeah, and you're getting probably around 90 catches. So
because they're high percentage passes, you're getting one of the most accurate quarterbacks of all time when you're talking about these type of routes.
He's a screaming buy right now. I mean, he's dirt cheap. No one likes Jordan Matthews right now.
Nobody likes him.
What did the poll say on Twitter?
The poll said, okay, so we'll start with Dynasty. So if you don't have Jordan Matthews and maybe you're the question was you're interested in acquiring Jordan Matthews, and if we're just talking about rookie picks, what would you pay? Would you pay a late first round pick? Would you pay a second round, a third round, or do you not even want him? And I think it was 45% out of nearly like 500 votes, 44% said they'd pay a third round rookie pick for him. And then the second most percentage was like 36% that said they didn't even want him right now. Like they wouldn't pay it with rookie picks. Yeah. But third round pick, that sounds pretty cheap.
So in our league, so for the listeners who aren't in our league, you know, we're in a 16-man league together, Justin and I.
16-man.
So if you're hitting 10%, that's 1.6.
Wow.
16 people selected in that round are going to hit, and that's over a 3-year span. So that might not even happen year 1. You might have to wait till year 3 for that hit to happen. So if you're telling me I can get Jordan Matthews, who's had 2 top 24 seasons, for a third round pick, all day. That's no question.
That's
because
dirt
I can
cheap.
Get that production this year, and it'll more likely hit. Or, you know, he's more likely to hit than that third round pick is going to anyway. You know, I don't trust myself enough to be able to hit on that third round pick. I can go through and select all the players I really, really like, but at the end of the day, it's completely out of my control as to what happens with their career. So I know what Jordan Matthews has done. I have history to back it up, and that makes me feel a whole lot safer about using my third round pick on someone like Jordan Matthews.
Now let's go over formats. Let's say we're in like a 12-team PPR. Where do you buy Jordan Matthews? Like where?
I did buy Jordan Matthews. I mean, not in the 12-man, but obviously in our league for my brother. So I was actually looking back through our MFL transactions, and I think I actually got him as a throw-in, thinking back as to how that transaction played out. I was trading Andy Dalton to him for a couple of third-round picks, and I think before our transaction ended, I was like, I knew that he didn't like Jordan Matthews, so I was like, hey, what do you want for him? And so I think I had to throw in like a 4th round pick in order to get him, and then he was literally a throw-in at that point. But if I can get him for a 3rd round pick, I'm definitely doing that. If I can get him for free, absolutely. But I'd pay as much as a 2nd round pick for him, because at the same time, 2nd round picks don't hit at that far greater rate than 3rd round picks. So, give me Jordan Matthews still. If I have a need at wide receiver, he's a good dart throw to have. He's on an elite offense, one of the greatest quarterbacks, if not the greatest quarterback of all time, playing a position that quarterback loves throwing to the most. On a roster where they lack a slot receiver.
All right, lads, you got Jordan Matthews, you got Julian Edelman, who's suspended. You got guys like Malcolm Mitchell, Cordero Patterson.
Malcolm Mitchell isn't anything.
Philip Dorsett is another backup slot who he's going to be. I mean, he was a flyer for them pretty much, a gamble, a low-risk gamble. And then Kenny Britt, still surviving, still has a career. And someone you guys should really take a look at, since we're talking about New England right now, is Braxton Berrios as a stash. I think he would be, why not? Throw that dart in the 5th round or something and see what happens. Maybe Braxton Berrios is...
get Braxton Berrios just as a free agent after
you may not even have to use a draft pick. Yeah, you might not have to. Maybe he's the next Edelman.
Only other guy there that's going to eat targets. Cordell Patterson, we know he's
a return guy.
Return man.
Yep.
He's not going to be the wide receiver. Malcolm Mitchell can't seem to stay healthy. He's kind of an older prospect at this point. There's not a whole lot there with him. I've never really loved his game. Philip Dorsett has proven to be an absolute bust. Kenny Britt, he's Kenny Britt.
Kenny Britt is Kenny Britt.
If there's someone else I'd probably take a chance on, it might be Kenny, only because he's got a history of being somewhat successful in the league. But I think he's definitely on that downside of his career, and I'd be surprised if he makes it on the 53-man roster at this point.
Yeah,
and then it's just a bunch of, who the hell's Riley McCarron and Cody Hollister?
Don't know.
So, and with Edelman gone, it's why not Jordan Matthews?
Yeah, that's a good pick, man.
There's nobody else. There's nobody else. If you ask anyone, why don't you like Jordan Matthews? No one's going to say, it's because he sucks on the field. Nope. Every time he's played, he's done really well.
Nope. He's a good player.
And yeah, this is the same thing with Sammy Watkins. Everyone's like, he's hurt. It's like, well, when he plays, he's actually one of the most efficient receivers on the field. Even last year, he was extremely efficient with what he had. I think he didn't drop a single red zone target. He had 8 touchdowns on, his 100 targets that he had. He didn't have that many targets. I think he had any less than 100 targets. So he's an extremely efficient wide receiver. So when he's on the field, he's great. He just needs volume at that point, right? So
that suppressed ADP is real. There you go. Green light for Jordan Matthews. Hashtag buy now. Draft rank. Right now, ADP is 218 on Fantasy Pros.
Yeah.
Draft rank 185. Because nobody likes him. Nobody cares. The best he's gone was 128. The worst, 256, according to Fantasy Pros. So, I'm going to say it again. Buy now and don't reach. But he's going to be there for you late. Shoot. Take a gamble on Jordan Matthews. He's cheap.
When you're getting him for a 3rd round pick or basically free as a throw-in in a trade, why not? You're not losing anything. What's the risk there that you have to cut him?
If you got some extra rookie picks, yeah.
And Jordan Matthews is 208 round right now of startup drafts on NFL, just behind Vance McDonald and just ahead of Charles Clay.
Ugh, man, so much disrespect.
In terms of wide receivers, he's going just ahead of D.D. Westbrook and Tyrell Williams. I'm not a big fan of D.D. Westbrook, especially in Jacksonville, but yeah, the upside there is insane. He could easily be a wide receiver 2 for you, and you're getting him in the 18th round.
All right, there it is. Dynasty Guru Miguel Chapington, thank you very much, sir. We will hear from you again soon.